friends, welcome to cookingwithdenise.com. Tonight I'm really excited that I'm going to be preparing pasta with seared scallops and corn, and it's got pea shoots and fresh basil. I think you're really going to like it. It's an easy to make meal and it's perfect for spring. It'll even be better for summer when you can get fresh corn. But the crunch of the pea shoots are awesome in this dish, and the fresh basil, which I get out of my herb garden. It's an indoor herb garden that I use. But the fresh basil does add that great herb flavor, and all of this combined is a very nice mixture. I think you're going to enjoy this, and I think it will please everyone that comes to your table. So let me get started and show you how to make this meal. Okay, let's start by taking a large skillet, and I've got my handy dandy old iron skillet. I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil to it. And let me say, I am only making this recipe for myself. The recipe on my website at cookingwithdenise.com will have a recipe that serves 4. So I'm not going to tell you the quantity of ingredients on here because it's just going to get confusing. But if you'll go to the website, I'll have that down in the description and you'll be able to find how to make this. Okay, so I'm adding butter, and I do add the olive oil to the butter to help keep the butter from burning, but I really like my scallops cooked in butter. Now, if you're trying to do heart healthy, you could eliminate the butter and just use the olive oil, and that would work just as fine. It just has a little less flavor. Now my butter and oil is heating up pretty well, so I'm going to take my scallops. These were frozen, but I have patted them dry in paper towels, and I'm going to add them to the skillet. Again, it's just for one person. Now what we want to do is get a nice brown crust on both sides of the scallops. And so we're going to let them brown without turning them or touching them. And once they've gotten brown, then we can flip them over. But we got to let them stay put for about 1 to 2 minutes on each side. Depends on the size of your scallops. This is such a great, easy to make spring meal. It would be great to have when you were having guests over for dinner, and to be a nice show-off meal. This does not work as well with the little bay scallops. You're going to want the bigger sea scallops to make this dish. Now, while these are cooking, I've started my pasta water, and I've added salt to it, and I'm going to use spaghetti as my pasta tonight. Linguine would also be very tasty. It's been 1 minute, so I am going to peek at this little scallop here. He's got a little brown, but I want him to get crustier and browner. Okay, I do believe our scallops can be ready this time. Oh yes, perfect. Nice brown crust. Oops, get back over here, baby. Okay. I'm not supposed to be moving them around. It messes with the crusting. So let's continue to cook these and get a crust on this side. It'll take about 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, my scallops are ready, so I'm going to take a dish and put my scallops in it and set them aside till later. And I've turned my heat down because now I want to saute my garlic, and I don't want it to burn up. This is only going to take about 30 seconds. Just want it enough to let the flavors release. I just did remember that I forgot to salt and pepper my scallops. I'm going to do that over here where you won't see me. Just salt and pepper them to your taste. Maybe you will see me. Do it right here. And freshly ground pepper. There we go. Always making mistakes. Oh, here's another one. Okay, let's add the anchovies. I've minced up, chopped up anchovies finally. And my garlic is starting to burn. Oh, mistakes after one another. But that's our chicken broth. Stop that burning process. I'm going to scrape up all the drops and browning part from the scallops. Makes our sauce very tasty. Let's see, I'm going to add a little bit more broth. Oops. It wasn't on. Here we go. Let's add a little pepper to this sauce and just a tad salt. Okay, now that that's boiling, I've got frozen corn I'm going to add. Fresh corn would be delicious in this, but it's a little early for fresh corn, so I've got frozen. And we're going to let that simmer here for a few minutes. Okay, so I'm getting hungry. I've cooked the pasta to al dente, so now I'm going to add it to this sauce. I'm going to save some of my pasta water and add it to the sauce also, probably to thicken it. But here we go. Come on, skimmer. There we go. Yes, let's add a tad bit of pasta water. Then we'll save the rest of it, just in case I decide I need more. And I've decided I need more. There we go. Okay, I'm going to add my scallops back in to let them finish cooking. I'm going to add a little, well, I'm going to wait a minute. Let this simmer a little bit. I want that pasta to really absorb the sauce. That's what really makes a good pasta, is when you put it back into the sauce. I want that brown side up here. He's lost his brown. This is going to be so delicious, and you saw how easy it was. It really is easier than what I make it look like. You could whip it together with no time or trouble. You could change some of the ingredients if you wanted to, and just make it to your own liking. If you don't care for anchovies, leave them out. But they do add a nice salty flavor to it. To me, it replaces the capers. And I always have capers with my scallops, but tonight, since it's got the anchovies, I'll use that in place of my capers. Okay, now I'm going to add lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. And let that heat up a bit. And then I'm ready to serve this up. Okay, so this delicious pasta with the seared scallops, the corn, and now we're going to top it with pea sprouts. I've taken pea sprouts and I've cut them into about 1-inch pieces. This is what makes this meal so healthy. And oops, should put my cheese on first. I have Parmesan cheese that I've grated, freshly grated. I want it under the pea sprouts. Please excuse me while I make up for this mistake. So it would have been better to have your cheese touching the heat so it melts down, and then put your sprouts on top of that. There we go. It looks like I didn't make a mistake. I'm sure you all understand that I do make mistakes. Okay, anyway, next we're going to put our fresh basil on. And fresh basil just really adds to this dish. So I'm tearing fresh leaves. Wait to tear your leaves until just before you put them on. They do have a tendency to bruise, and you want those flavors released just before you go to eat this. Now, I have a lot of fresh basil right here, and so I probably will add even more after I turn the camera off. But it's up to you as to how much basil you want on your dish. And I just happen to like a lot. I also will probably add more cheese. But anyway, here you've got it. There, doesn't that look delicious? It's pasta with seared scallops, corn, pea shoots, and fresh basil. It's also got the anchovies and the lemon juice in there. Oh, delicious and so easy to make. Hope you give this a try. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Bye now.